Yes, greetings, family. My name is Kenya Malinke Mansouri, and I serve as the Public Relations Officer for the ASE Collective, or as we say, the African State of Emergency. Today, we're going to have a dynamic show with our guests on the Gambia and the Gambia. Could you both start by introducing yourselves and your roles within the African State of Emergency?
Greetings to you, greetings all. My name is Jalika Jetta, and I am a coordinator within the International Coordinator Diplomacy Team.
Yes, and greetings. My name is Zeb Allen, and I am also a coordinator on the International Coordinator and Diplomacy Team.
Okay, thank you. So what inspired this formation of ASE Collective chapter in the Gambia, and why now?
Okay, do you want to start? You start.
For me, my inspiration for this is I'm planning on relocating to the Gambia. And whilst being here over many years, coming back and forth, you see the challenges here within the infrastructure. And then whilst also you see the current issues here, and issues around safety and security, then the level of concerns that you can hear amongst the people, the community people, the returnees, you can hear the feelings about safety within the community. So I would say that would also have inspired me. Also being part of maybe a Pan-African ideology. We know we have to look at certain things for ourselves, and we have to look at getting together and uniting to put certain things together. So I think these were my inspirations to start up or to join ASE Collective.
And very much the same for myself. My inspiration was, again, coming from African Pan-African way, thinking and doing, and I just feel living here now, there is so many people that are now returning home, and we just really need to not just to be here for them, to help and assist in any particular way. And from that, nothing is more welcoming to be home, and to also have individuals that have the same mindset as yourself.
Yes, awesome. And I'll just add, you're right. It's key to have a type of framework or infrastructure on the ground for returnees in the countries that we reside in that can assist us with these things. So I commend you for joining. So the next question is, can you walk us through the purpose and format of your most recent town hall meetings held in Gunjur and Kantam?
I would say the purpose of the meeting was to kind of assemble the returnees or the diaspora together. We know what was going on. We can hear people talking about certain things, and we thought, well, no, people need to get together. We can introduce to them ASE Collective. We can explain to them why are we here and why we need to sort of do things in a particular way. So yes, the purpose was to get people together, introduce the ASE Collective, and to discuss the concerns surrounding living in the Gambia and the current safety and security issues that people were feeling. That was the main purpose of the meeting. I suppose having the forum and the space to address individual feelings, and it's the opportunity, we're giving the people the opportunity to get together so that they can now explain and share how they were feeling whilst being here, whether they're there with their partners or they're by themselves. At least now they've got that space for people to get together and share their views.
And we really wanted to see the amount of returnees here in the Gunju and Kartang area. Kartang and Gunju is quite big, and you will be amazed that there is so many returnees, diasporas that are here, kind of keep themselves to themselves, yeah. But
Yes.
I think for the town hall, it was a chance to see all of us together in order to support each other in terms of just general life here in Gambia and how we can assist each other, but also to draw a sort of table together for our voices to be heard, and then also to work alongside the local authorities by using our voices. So it was good to see the amount of people that attended, and just to let everybody know that we are here to support.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Thank you. And I commend you for taking the steps to actually assemble these type of community sessions. And I know it's not easy, especially getting people together from different backgrounds. And with that being said, can you tell us some of the key concerns and needs raised by the communities during this meeting?
In terms of the last meeting we had, which was on the 12th of March?
Yes.
Yes.
12th of March, yeah. As I said, it was well attended, very well attended. And from that attendance, we found that there was a lot of anxiety in terms of what was happening in Gambia, what had recently happened in terms of 2 killings. I'm going to say killings and not just deaths. A lack of security in terms of the authorities.
Well, we sort of covered maybe various areas in terms of the security side. So we're looking at the things where people wanted support from, but I think what really came clear, it was based on their safety more than anything else. A lot of people had the experiences in people getting burgled or people getting robbed, and in general, maybe a lot of deception. You know, where people are being monies are being passed and things what they're supposed to be done hasn't been done. So people and their anxieties and their fears of not knowing certain things, and especially when people maybe like who's returned is coming from places whereby if something happened, they could just pick up a phone and phone someone or phone an essential place, and somebody can respond back to them and says, okay, we could send somebody out to deal with your concern or your emergency. And knowing here there was nothing like that happening. So
wow.
I think people was more feeling kind of anxious because it doesn't happen here. But and like I said, I think people come and want to just get on with things and stick to themselves to a certain degree. But at the same time, I know that by the meeting, you can realize that they really want to know that we can help each other in a certain way, where we can have that support if any emergency does arise. So I would say the biggest concern for people at the meeting was based on their safety and security, and how can we actually address that.
Wow. So let me ask you, is there a plan for ASE Collective to address the ongoing concerns surrounding safety and security for both the returnees and the local population?
The plans that we have, we're thinking, is to create the platform for the returnees and local population to engage with the local and governmental authorities. Yeah, does that make? Have I said it clear?
Yeah.
Yes. It's vital for us as returnees to know that there are local authorities, and then and from the local authorities there's governmental. We also feel that as a collective, we need to look on training, looking at workshops, like for instance, first aid, other areas such as that. Each one teach one. A lot of us as returnees, we have our own skills, and for whatever reason, we keep ourselves to ourselves. Well, if we come together, then it's each one teach one in order to care for everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel also that we could, ASE could create surgeries meaning, for instance, a lot of returnees and diasporas may have issues around land or issues in terms of criminal elements. So if we had surgeries once a month for lawyers or once a month for police, then the returnees could meet at one place once a month and put certain things forward. So at least then we would feel that we are being heard and the authorities are taking stock of what's going on for us.
Yeah, I think yeah, you covered most of that. I think for the ASE collective to maybe recognize that here in where we are now in Gunju and Khartoum, we have like I said, a large community, and it's quite an aging community at the same time. So we also want to ensure that I think we get together kind of regularly, so that we are looking out for each other. Because we are, I think, ASE collective is connecting people in various ways. So yes, we're looking at this sort of emergency situation, the safety situation, but at the same time, we're looking at the well-being and also like the mental health of our community. So all these areas put together with safety and any issues that are concerning us on a daily basis, we can get together, like you said, once a month and share how we can deal with these challenges. So yeah, I think that's where the collective is working to try to bring everyone together on a regular basis to deal with these matters.
Okay, awesome. So the next question I have is, so tell us about the First Community Response Team initiative, and how does it work, and what makes it unique?
Okay. I would say the First Response Team is based on the concept of the first responder teams that we kind of used to, where you pick up a phone, and once you pick up the phone in an emergency, you can get in touch with the police, you can get in touch with the fire services, you can get in touch with the ambulance services. So the first response team is based on that sort of premise, that once you pick up a phone, you can get access to this. The first response team is unique on the basis that it's initiated, I would say it's initiated by ASE itself, but the development of it is going to be based on returnees in the community developing it in the Gambia. So ASE has initiated it and told us and said to us, yes, we need to look at something, and we have now in the community is going to be developing our own response teams. So basically, the community would be, the way I can describe it, we'll have like a duty basis where we'll have our own 24-hour sort of duty basis, where a duty worker will be on each evening, where if anyone phoned through or used our app, which I will maybe explain a little bit more about later, where you can go onto the app, and once you press that app, it will give you connection with someone who is now going to respond to your call. So if it's an emergency because there's something happening on your side, something in the security basis, we can send someone out or send some people out to go and have check on you. If it's that you are not feeling well and you needed to go into the hospital, or if you've hurt yourself or so forth, we can send somebody to you to check on you or get you to the hospital or the clinic on time. And also we're kind of going to be utilizing the skills of all the people, all our community, because many of us who are here is people like ex-nurses, people involved in security, people involved in sort of social services from where they're coming from. So we've got a lot of background and wisdom and experience from people coming. So we're going to utilize people's skills to train each other in various areas. So then making the first respond team very much so active in terms of what they're doing. So it will be an ongoing training sort of situation. And then we're looking at the resources of what we're going to be needing. So for example, first aid kits and maybe fire extinguishers, things like that. We can look to put it together as part of our things that we're going to need to be a first respond team. And hopefully, like I said, at the same time, utilizing and using the community itself, the locals who knows more about the area. We will use them to show us, maybe get us through certain things and train them up as well at the same time, so they can also be there to be part of the first responder teams. Because here itself, in terms of getting in touch with a police, not because you can't get in touch with the police, but they have not got the resources to do certain things. The fire services is very far away, so just in case anything like that happen, at least we can be prepared enough to try to help put out a fire. And ambulance services is quite similar as well. We might have an ambulance, but it is very far and few between to get the ambulance services to come out to you in a timely fashion. So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is to try to have our first responder team working in a timely fashion, 24 hours a day, and we can get out to people within a very quick time. So that's the idea of the first response team, and that's why it's unique.
So you've introduced the app in case of emergency app. How will this tool function within the broader emergency response systems in the Gambia?
Again,
Well, the ICE app is well, the ICE meaning in case of emergency, is the app that would actually connect individuals to the first response system. So basically, once you ring or press the ICE app itself, it should put you through to an individual who's on duty, and that individual now will take on board your emergency. So whether it's, like I said, whether it's fire, whether you're not feeling well, or whether it's a security matter, we'll take the details, and then we will alert the other individuals which are awaiting, who's on duty that evening, to respond to whatever the emergency is. I would say, looking at it on a wider scale, is the fact that once we can get the app and everything functioning how we would like it to be working, I think the other emergency services here, or the lack of emergency services here, would now maybe looking to utilize something similar, or maybe wanting to use the app, because at the end of the day they'll come on board. Because I think at this moment in time there is not a number or something like that where we can call and people can be connected to an emergency services. Not what I know of anyway. Maybe in a different part of Gambia they may have an emergency line, but where we are in the more of the rural end, no, we haven't got that here. So to have something like this up this side, it will cover a very, very, very large area. Because once we start it in Kartang and Gunju, and we get it right up this side, it will now be launched throughout the Gambia. So you're talking many miles. It will be launched So virtually every area would be using the ASE app within their own area. So I can see that the local authority, well, the local people and the local authorities would then, I would think, will come on board to try to maybe use also the ASE app in regards to the emergency services, which I think, like I said, is lacking here. So I think the app itself would be a very unique tool for them to have and to use.
Okay. Awesome. So at this time, there is no emergency response system in the areas that you are. So this will be innovation that can assist with the safety and security of the returnees as well as the local population. So this is needed all across the board.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
Awesome. So what kind of collaboration or support is the ASE Collective seeking from like institutions like the police, local councils, healthcare, attorneys, etc.? Can you tell us more about that?
I would say in terms of the police and the local authorities and so forth, I think we are open to work alongside them on the basis that we want to ensure that we work within the law. So basically, we have informed the authorities. So, for example, the alcalde of the village, we would inform him to ensure that he is aware of what ASE Collective is doing within his community. We'll also have called the police and spoken with their superintendents to also maybe let them aware of also what we are looking at piloting within their community. So by them knowing what we are doing, we are looking for them to support in terms of what we are doing. So, for example, if we need advice in regards to security measures, we'll expect the police to come on board and kind of advise us in terms of what we can do and what we can't do. In terms of maybe speaking to a lawyer, similar kind of thing, in terms of what we can do and what we can't do. And also maybe trying to utilize the authorities to kind of make sure that once they're on board, they could also look at how things can be developed in our areas and what they can put in to see how things can be improved. So in working in collaboration with the authorities, it's about them, we working together to try to develop what the first response is doing, as well as the ASE app and how that will work and how they can incorporate and all of us can work together to see how all of it develops for the future.
And we've also already connected with a local organization that we are both in, and they have kind of guided us and supported us in terms of just general things here in Gambia that we may not be aware of legally. So we've worked alongside them and another organization as well. So in terms of all these collaborations, we're doing it for the betterment, not just of ourselves, but of the community as a whole, returnee and local.
Yes, wow. Awesome. And I commend you guys for taking the initiative again. I'm just so excited that Gambia is getting this because many returnees will know, there's been some issues in the Gambia, and Gambia is so small. So it's good that you guys are there to actually implement some of these things. My next question for you would be, how has this initiative been received by the community members so far, particularly the returnees?
It's been received very, very well, extremely well. As we said earlier, there's been a lot of anxiety in terms of what's been going on, in terms of safety and security. So for us, initiating and getting together and having the town hall meetings, it made them see that they weren't alone. They were frustrated in terms of not being heard. That again goes to about voices. We need to hear people's voices. What else?
I would say, I think it's that the lack of resources here and the limitations that comes with that. And I think that's where the frustrations will come from, because you might want to do things and you know that, oh, it's going to be difficult. Little things here can be a big challenge. So just to, for example, not to have a car is a big challenge here. So when things are happening and things happening in an emergency situation, and you don't have a vehicle to do this or just to go there, it gets very frustrating, and you can get quite anxious, really. So to know when we sat together and people are hearing each other talk, it kind of obviously let people feel a little bit better, because you kind of feel as if, well, yeah, we all are in the same boat, and at the same time, we can now realize, yeah, we can be in the same boat together, and we can help each other row this boat together, sort of thing. So I think people kind of, although people still want to do their little isolating thing and we say, no, people can still do what they need to do, and people can have time to themselves. However, when we are ready to make sure that we can check on each other and make sure people are safe, this is when we come together, and this is what the ASE Collective is doing. So I think that the community here has received what we're doing very well, and I just think they're anxious in knowing what we're going to do next. So I think that's where they are. They want to know what's happening. So I believe people want to see the changes, what we can maybe implement for ourselves.
I feel ASE gave a sense of direction in terms of the returnee community. I'm not saying that other groups who were here before us wasn't doing anything. They were doing something, but I feel there was a greater sense of direction in knowing that we had a tool, or going to have a tool in terms of the app. And that, for me, brought more sense of relief. Yeah.
Thank you. And you guys kind of answered the next question that I had, as far as like the resources and how you're navigating it. You guys pretty much talked about the challenges that you guys face with like the lack of maybe vehicles, or the lack of infrastructure. There's no one person that you can call and have an ambulance. Like, we're from the West. We're from more developed countries, per se, that have these infrastructures and things in place for those of us that need the assistance. So you talked about the app before. You mentioned the ASE app, and can you, if this is maybe to go back into the app. So how do you guys feel the app will be more beneficial for the returnees? Are they open to the app? And you also mentioned some other groups that has been there before. Are those groups in attending the meetings and kind of align with the goals and objectives for ASE Collective, of the ASE Collective?
Well, I think like what we've said before, the unique side of what we're doing. One is us as the community is now taking charge of certain things,
Yeah.
rather than we're waiting on the local police and whoever to try to address it for us. No, we are addressing it for ourselves. So that's the unique side of that. And then coupled with that is the app, where we're saying, well, this is how we going to use this app to now connect ourselves to the emergency response team. So I think the app, when we're looking at other areas where they were trying to develop something or look at the same situations what we all are in the Gambia itself. So we have other areas with having meetings and so forth. But the difference between the two, I would say, is now one is us using the initiative to decide, let's do it ourselves, and as well as let's do it ourselves and work within the confines of the law and get the law as well as any other authorities to support what we are doing and guide us in ensuring that we are doing this thing correctly. As well as now the app is there to kind of let them realize, well, okay, this is another tool what is used now, where it's something where everybody who downloads this app can automatically feel, once I've pressed this and once I've found this, somebody on the other side will respond to me, and somebody will guide me in terms of what should I do. So I think that's where I think people are feeling a bit more positive about where we're going with this and where it can actually lead to, because like I said, in regard to the infrastructure itself, there isn't I would say a country-wide service. It might be a service done in a particular area of Gambia, but it doesn't run throughout Gambia. So yes, I see ambulances moving up around. I see fire brigades moving around. I see police moving around. However, there isn't a service there where you can pick up and say to them, "Oh, can I have an ambulance, please?" Or "Can I have a police?" You're not going to get that. So, and like I said, the more remote you are or rural you are, I think the less you're going to get in those areas. So I would say, in regards to how things are moving, I think people are very sort of happy with what we're doing, purely because this what we're developing is something which can start very small but turn into something which it runs throughout Gambia itself, and it's a service that everyone can get access to.
Wow. I'm blown away. I'm just really happy to be on this journey with you guys. So I'm seeing how it's manifesting in the Gambia, and I'm excited for what we can build here in Sierra Leone. And lastly, my final question would be, do you guys have any messages that you would like to share with our listeners about how they can join your efforts or join the ASE Collective? And also, is there any upcoming events or initiatives there in the Gambia that someone can join by reaching out?
Okay, first and foremost, let's deal with the most important element. We have a meeting, next meeting, town hall meeting, and that is on the 14th of June. There we will be looking over what we last dealt with, but hopefully we'll be having authorities such as a lawyer, police, immigration, where we will be looking at certain elements where returnees feel that it's important in terms of immigration and again safety and security. Yeah, so that will be on the 14th. I think that's it. In order, we will be saying it, and we will always say it, in order to join ASE and know more about ASE, we have contact details which we can give on the day, and they can they can email.
Mm.
Generally, they can talk to us, but we will give out the information on the day of the town hall meeting.
Mm.
Wow. And once again, I thank you for the work that you have been doing, not just in the Gambia, because I know you guys have been involved in this empowerment work for our communities for decades. So it's great to see that you guys are coming from the diaspora and bringing it back home to Africa and assisting in building this system for us, because it's not there. So again, I'm gonna make the call for those of you who's watching. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on all social media platforms, which is Facebook, IG, and YouTube at African State of Emergency. And you can email us africanstateofemergency@gmail.com. And you can also visit us on our website. We have a website on basanis.org. So that's BSANI.org. And you can click African State of Emergency and just check out what it is that we do. I thank you guys once again, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yes.
Of course. No, we work together anyway, so.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
No problem.
Yes.